Hello guys, welcome. On today's tutorial we are going to look at a few vector processing tools. Right, good. Now the first we are going to look at is the Subdivide tool. So we come to the processing toolbox and then we go to vector geometry. Then under the vector geometry we look out for Subdivide. According to the description here, it subdivides the geometry. The return geometry will be a collection of containing subdivided parts. Right, good, from the initial geometry. So it will contain subdivided parts. So now let's see how it works. Now one thing about a caveat is that you do not have control over the area or extent that you want to subdivide of the subdivided parts. You don't have that control, but you have the control for the maximum nodes in the part. Right, good. So let's say the default, according to the description, you have maximum of 100,000, minimum of 8, and then default is 256. So now let's reduce the default to about 100. Right, good. And then we are going to run it as a scratch layer. Now when we do that, there is an output and then you can see the subdivided part. Right now, if you come to the attribute table of this output, you are still going to see just one row, but when you look at the shape, you can see that we have different subdivided segments according to what we have in the description here, subdivided parts. Now in order for us to see these subdivided parts, we are going to use a second tool, Multipart to Singlepart, or we can easily search for it. Good. So we have Multipart to Singlepart. Now we are going to load this are subdivided as what the input layer. So this will now help us to see those individual parts that have been what subdivided earlier. So when we run, okay, let's just close this, and then if we come to this Singleparts attribute table, we are going to see the different rows that represent those smaller outputs, as it is being called, the subdivided parts from the original geometry of what the initial polygon that we have established or we have loaded. So if you click on each of these rows, you are going to see the different what subdivided parts. Right, good. And if per adventure you don't see it, you can actually zoom to layer and then you can see that it has been selected. Right, good. So we just have shown you how you can use these two tools, the first of which is what the subdivision tool, and the next one is what Multipart to Singlepart, in order for you to now visualize those subdivided parts. Right, so you need this subdivision tool or to subdivide when your vector data in terms of polygons or lines are actually complex for some processes or maybe to perform some analysis. So you just subdivide them into those smaller parts, and then if you also want to go ahead to visualize, you can now use this Multipart to Singlepart to also visualize it. However, you will not be able to control the extent, like okay, you need it per square meter or the rest of that. So we are going to see you subsequently with another interesting tutorial. Until then, keep staying safe and have a fantastic time. Bye.